What's up, Hey Nation? Welcome to episode 50 of Talking to the Fans. Before we get into this episode, I just want to thank all you guys. I haven't been posting a lot of these episodes of the podcast lately, but I tried to make it work. I've been really busy. Um, but I'm starting to get more into it again. Anyways, we started this podcast about a year and a half ago, and you guys have shown a lot of support to it. I really appreciate you guys for all the support you guys have shown towards the Talking to the Fans podcast, and we've been able to have some great guys on here. So yeah, man. Again, I just appreciate you guys, and before we get going, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe before we get into this. I'm here with BSBL Legacy, who did not make the last episode with BSBL Bat Flips. What's up?
Sorry, I'm gonna say this. A lot of stuff happened, but I'm here this time, guys. So don't get mad.
Yeah.
All right, what's up?
And also, I'm here with Billy the Bat Boy, aka the guy who made Hayden baseball suffer for 45 minutes in the Around the Diamond trivia. What's up, bro?
What we doing? No, it's always, great to return and have another conversation. It's bringing me back memories from our tournament, what, a week ago, maybe?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, what's up? How are things going?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. I've been working a lot of editing and just grinding with that, just trying to catch up. I finally completed all of my summer editing that I had it in the bank here in my studio and my hard drive forever. So I'm happy to finally have gotten that done before school starts back up, and just hanging out.
Yeah, man. So the first question, like I wanted to ask you, or about your account,
Yeah.
how did you start getting into baseball TikTok and doing what you do today?
Yeah, so I would have to say everything my intros always begin with becoming a bat boy for the New Jersey Jackals independent team way back when I was 11 years old. And a
Oh,
couple
wow.
years after that, I decided that I wanted to start interviewing players, and that was in 2015. So since 2015, I've really began my whole journey in media and posting interviews on YouTube, Instagram, and then at that time TikTok wasn't really a thing. And I kind of hopped on the whole TikTok wave a little later. So it wasn't, I downloaded the app in 2019, but I didn't really post until about a year and a half ago. So
Oh,
that's when,
wow.
yeah, it was something where I just decided, you know what, this is the current environment that is really succeeding for a lot of creators, and a place where I could definitely get my content out there even more and have more organic reach than YouTube and some of these other platforms. So it turned out to be a great opportunity, and I'm really happy I did it because it's opened up different opportunities for me, and being able to meet new people as well.
Yeah, man, for sure. I just want to say we both got one thing in common. Um, we have both had our experience of interviewing players. I mean, I got to experience that, like interviewing a lot of players last year. Mine was really unique though because I had to work for it. I had to go up to the player, and you know, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it is. It is when you start off, like you have to do that. You just have to say, you know what, it's something I want to do, and I'm going to go after it, and just walk up to them and figure out a way to get it done, because it might be uncomfortable at first, but as you continue to have consistent opportunities to do it, and say, you know what, even though I'm maybe a little bit shy right now, I'm going to still go up there and ask them for an interview, or and put myself in those situations. So it's a great learning experience too.
Yeah, bro, that's awesome. The second question I wanted to ask you is, you're actually the first person I've had on the podcast who's created a TikTok trend, basically. So, I think you know where I'm going with this. I think you do. Um, you you asked a girl if they had to marry a baseball player, who would you marry? And they said
Oh
Aaron Judge.
no.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
no.
yeah. Man, that one, I laugh when I see things like that just explode for no reason. And like, it's funny because I always put a lot of emphasis on my interviews with players that are serious, and we're talking about technique, we're talking about the mental side of the game, and all these other things that are really, pretty prominent things in this game and are important. And then the videos that all of a sudden do really well and go viral, are the ones that I'm asking people about silly questions, and it's just hysterical because um yeah, the one in that video, she was an intern for the Jackals, the team I worked for a couple years before that. So when she came back around and we had to do a little interview, and I clipped up some of those clips from that day, that little session there, and posted that clip, and out of nowhere, just it did well at first, but then all of a sudden, a month or two later, it started going crazy again for no reason, because that's when it turned into that sound, I guess, and people started using it. And if you click on the sound, you just have like probably a few thousand girls just saying they're what player they'd want to marry. And it's hysterical. And I think it's
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's funny. It's so silly, but it's
I bet you
amazing.
cringe. I bet you cringe over that
Yeah,
probably
well,
sometimes.
I cringe every time I hear myself say Aaron Judge, and like I did in the video. But it's funny because like I
And
knew
yeah,
that's like the typical answer for anybody, especially a Yankee fan. So it's great.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Um, at that's trend. That whole thing is just very hysterical, and
Yeah.
you got to ask the main person behind it about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I've
do.
seen
I
a lot
know.
of those. I've seen a lot of those videos, on my personal FYP. So
Love it. Love to hear it. Yeah, no, we did another interview with her probably a few weeks after that time we recorded the first that one that went what did really well, but I don't think it showed that success yet at that time. I think I might have just posted before then. So we haven't done one where we after the fact where we really knew that it was a successful clip. So yeah, we got to get that an update.
So next question I'm gonna ask you is about the Around the Diamond trivia. I did mention it in the beginning of the episode, but I want to know like your kind of side of it, because for me, I know it was just a battle to even stay in contention. I mean, I know you were missing a lot. I was missing a lot of questions.
Yeah.
What were things kind of like on your side? Because for me, they're just crazy. I'm like, what's gonna happen? I don't even know what's gonna happen. I'm just trying to battle right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's funny because I'd had no prep. I didn't do any type of studying beforehand, and I didn't cheat either. So I was just fully off the dome, just off the top of my head of what I remember from this being a fan and being involved with the game. But it's funny because they posted the stats afterwards, and I had like maybe 50% correct, even less maybe. So I was laughing at that because I mean, at the end of the day, it's all timing. It's all about what timing works out for you, how you're able to finagle a victory, and just because I get questions wrong than more questions wrong than somebody else doesn't mean that they're going to win. And it's just about how it lines up in your individual tournament. So it worked out
Yeah.
great. It was like being a 500 team and finding a way to win the championship. You get hot at the right time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened there.
Yeah. It was great. It was fun. It was a great time. I think after you, I faced Eric from Bat Boys Baseball and then Liam, both of them in the championship, actually. It was like double team action against me. And then Eric beat me once, but he had to win twice because they were in the losers bracket,
Yeah,
and it just worked out perfectly. I was at the end, I was laughing like I don't know how, like that's funny.
like I noticed a lot of the rounds you were in, not just mine, but like a lot of them came down to the final beat.
Yeah, like it felt like a 3-2 count, game 7 of the World Series, 2 outs. Like it felt like that each time. And I think, yeah, we had that, I believe. And then I had that too with Liam at the end. So, oh, it was crazy. I was getting amped up though. Like at first I went in like, oh, this will be fun, whatever. And then all of a sudden I'm like, it's like I'm playing again. Like I feel like I'm competing right here. So that was awesome.
It was awesome, and I look forward to being into it next year. If they invite me back, I'm
Yeah.
definitely down to be back in their trivia because it was a lot of fun. And um, one thing I definitely want to come back and try and make a further run next year and maybe even win the thing. I don't know.
Hey, you'll do it. You'll do it. Keep going. Do some little research. That's the thing. When you get older, you remember more of. You have a wider, I guess, range of knowledge on different players and stuff. So just, I remember things that I didn't even think I would remember. Like the last question I won, I got right was about Jared Weaver. It was who recorded the most strikeouts for the Angels in like 2010. I'm like, I remember one pitcher then, and it was Weaver, and I was right.
Oh
It's just
yeah,
like,
Weaver was definitely
yeah,
that guy back then.
it's
But
crazy.
yeah. I was gonna say, Hayden, if you wanna, sorry, I'm looking for, focus next time. We did this not that long ago, a trivia thing. If you remember this. It's
Oh, nice.
300 words for trivia, so I can help Hayden out.
There we
Hopefully
go.
win that
My
next year.
boys
Practice
got
right
me.
there. Love it.
Hey, but I mean, you both guys, I'm gonna say this, you both both y'all did really well. I mean, it's I didn't think they were gonna post stats either, like you said, and then I saw the percentage. I was like, dang, the first night Hayden kind of went off, dude.
Yeah,
I
it's
think I went
crazy.
like 5 for 6, and
83% it said.
I
was at
still
like
remember
40%.
this down to the brim. I went 5 for 6 against a guy who quote said, "I'm coming for your throat."
Coach Perry.
Yeah, and he's a good friend of
Oh,
mine.
Coach
So
Perry. Oh my God. Coach Perry's got to watch. He's a positive guy. He can't be saying cutthroat
yeah,
things like that.
Well, he was being a little bit too cocky that night.
yeah.
Yeah, good
Oh
stuff.
man, I'm gonna have to send this to Perry after.
Yeah, I love Perry.
There's Perry, right in my arms.
Oh my
oh
God.
my god.
All jokes aside, Coach Perry,
Yeah,
man, we
yeah,
respect you.
we do. We love you, Perry. Um, the next question I did want to ask though is, Billy, how did you get into the game of baseball like as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, it's really the traditional story of just playing t-ball growing up, just 5 years old,
Yup.
getting involved with it. And honestly, I played other sports too, basketball, soccer, and all flag football when I was in kindergarten. But then you get older and you realize which sports you're better at than others and which ones you don't like as much. And it seemed like every couple of years another one would drop off. So it got to the point where I stopped playing soccer. Then I was just playing baseball and basketball. Then I dropped off basketball in like sixth grade and now I'm just playing baseball. It's like that's the lone survivor, and I just stuck with it. I loved it, being involved with it. I had the Jackals 10 minutes away from my house. I used to go to all the time as a young kid, and then that provided me with the opportunity to really get involved at 11 years old. So it was a beautiful line of events of being involved with the game. And I just always loved being around the people and the atmosphere and the players, the coaches and the
Yeah.
fans. And that was the best part because baseball has a unique environment, atmosphere across all different levels.
It does
And it's
everything.
really nice
Everything
to
you
be
want.
part of.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I kind of went like the same thing could happen for me as well. Like, I played t-ball when I was younger, right? Then I played soccer, but stuff you were doing, right?
Yeah.
I'm in high school now, and I dropped those kind of. Like, I didn't play. I like last time I played basketball was maybe like fifth grade, possibly. Soccer, I don't even know. Like, and then now I'm just waiting for April to come around, just get that back going, get that arm
Yeah.
going for sure. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
kudos.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to play multiple sports as long as you can, but there was no shot I was sticking with those other sports. I was not good at those other ones. I'm not saying I was the best
It's
baseball player either, but it was the
it's not that
most.
I wasn't good at it. It's just I have the most heart with
Sure.
baseball. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I can just do much more with baseball. Honestly, I know all the stuff, routines, everything. Like, it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Yeah.
Um, well, BSBL Legacy, I'm actually gonna give you a chance to ask Billy a question.
All right. So what made you want to, do the trivia, this year?
Yeah, they contacted me, Bobby Jenkins. He contacted me. We did it. I did it last year, I believe. And
Mhm.
I didn't win that one, but I was like, yeah, I'll do it for sure. And yeah, it was a good cause too. They had a charity involved, and um, I was looking forward to it. So it was a great time, and I was like, absolutely. When he first texted me saying, "Hey, you want to do it?" I'm like, yeah, for sure. And it worked out nicely. We're off, I'm off of school and everything. It was great. So
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah,
To connect with a bunch of creators, it's really nice.
yeah. Got another one if that's right with you, Hayden.
Yeah, bro.
Um, what what is like your favorite moment from baseball around like, the era or whatever?
In like the big leagues or just being part of the game.
Big
Which one?
leagues.
The
like
big
big league.
leagues, man. Oh man,
Your favorite moment? Honestly, if you can't really choose, I'll give you three.
man, that's tough. That's tough. Favorite moment while watching the game. There's so many amazing moments throughout baseball. Like I'm a Yankee fan, so
Oh
anytime you see
no,
something, yeah,
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
not one of those arrogant Yankee fans,
Okay.
but
We
you
love
know,
those Yankees fans.
yeah, but yeah, I mean any type of monumental moment, like seeing Judge hit his that home run this year to break the record was awesome. I
I
mean, it's historic right there.
yeah
Seeing anybody across the league do something special, it's hard to pinpoint one exactly, but any time where somebody breaks records is really special because that's a moment you're watching in history that might be a record that lasts way beyond the time we're living. So it's quite special.
yeah. I guess we have another one. So obviously you said like you're a Yankee fan. You're not the arrogant ones. I say
Yeah.
this was saying like the you know not those type of fans. But as obviously a Yankee fan, who are like your top three favorite players on there, like current?
Top three current favorite player. Aaron Judge is up there. He's in the top three. He's just a good person. He
He's a
obviously
goat.
self-explanatory. He's a captain now
Yeah,
for a reason. It's not by accident. So he's just a good role model for kids. Another one, I'd say Ron Marinaccio, because I interviewed him last year, the reliever. So he's a pretty good arm in the pen. And if I had to pick a third one, Jose Trevino seems like an awesome guy. Just he's
yeah, he really
really
does.
seeing what he's doing in the community, and he just seems like there's a typical normal person. So it's nice to
Yeah,
see what he's doing, and he's a great player. He's an all-star player, so it's awesome to see what he does.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah.
actually
So
got
like,
one.
go ahead.
Um, so I want to talk about a signing from this offseason that your
yeah.
Yankees made. How are you feeling about the fact y'all have Carlos Rodon, a top tier pitcher in baseball, and how do y'all feel?
Ooh,
How do you feel that he's going to be in the top of your rotation next year and for years to come?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, he's a quality guy. His competitiveness is top notch, and I feel like he'll be very nicely able to complement the top hand with Garrett Cole and Severino and Cortez in that mix as well. This rotation is really good, and they have Frankie Montas, who's going to be underrated going into spring training because of his injuries and performance at the end of last year. It just kind of put
right.
a damper on
Yeah.
that, but that's a top rotation in baseball right there. If all those guys are healthy at the same time and producing, it really is. You might have Nestor Cortez as the number 3 or 4 starter. That's insane.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say this. I think the main like rotation that could probably beat you is probably the Astros because theirs is deadly. Like y'all are
Yeah,
at least maybe top five. I mean, with the addition of the Rangers, they could also be deadly, but like y'all are at least top three or top five.
yeah. I mean, everything looks good on paper for many teams, but it's just a matter of making sure they're all on the field at the same time and they're having
Right.
their the seasons that you predict out of them. And sometimes there'll be some disappointments, and sometimes there'll be things that you're really pleased about that you weren't expecting. So we could see the Mets all of a sudden be a team who absolutely dominates on the pitching side, but the guy's going to stay healthy. The guys especially who are a little bit older. So it all depends on health and how guys
Yeah,
are able to execute.
availability. Yeah. I got one for you. So obviously this year, and I think many more years to come, it's supposed to be all teams play against each other, right?
Yeah.
Which series are you most looking forward to for out of
Wow,
all
that's a
the
good
teams?
question.
Because again, we got all the teams playing against each other at least once this year. So it's like there's rivalries and everything. There's a lot of there's a lot of teams that you haven't played. My team hasn't played either
Sure.
at least once. So yeah, what's like the most series you're really excited for? Me,
Well,
I'm gonna go on first. Say I'm personally when Mookie goes back to Boston. I will say that
mm,
that's gonna feel
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's great. I love this whole thing that they're doing with everyone's going to play everybody. It's a great for the game. So different cities are able to see some of the great players from across the league, from different
Right.
of divisions and things like that. So I'm really happy they did it. And I mean, it's tough to say exactly which series, but as a Yankee fan or somebody who wants to see different teams in New York, I always like to see the Reds in New York because I typically know somebody on the team all the time. Fernando Cruz, a reliever for the Reds, played for the Jackals. So I worked with him for a few years. So I'd love to see him
Oh
face
wow.
that lineup. It's a great lineup, and I'd love to see him face it, see what he could do. Um, but just playing some of these National League teams and the that you wouldn't typically see, the Marlins or the Cubs or the Rockies. I mean, it's cool because you really don't see that much, and it's exciting to maybe see the Yankees go down the Coors and see if they could hit home runs out of that park. And and
Aaron Judge will do that. That's Aaron Judge's
yeah,
job for
yeah,
sure.
it's gonna be
Um,
really interesting.
yeah, I think so. I mean, I just can't wait to play against the New York teams, especially the Yankees.
Yeah,
I do remember this one series. If I think you remember too, was like where people like it was like either I think y'all guys were all black, we were all white. There's like nicknames and everything. That was pretty cool.
That was a lot of fun.
right.
So I'm hoping if we play y'all again, because the thing was, and coming from a Dodger standpoint, we had an awesome season, right? And y'all were projected to have like the number one in just Major League General. And then I'm gonna say this, y'all really did fall off after that, Gallo trade, who's sadly gone in LA as well.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, right? It was like the curse of Gallo. It's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
exactly. I do want
But
to ask,
yeah.
how'd that feel after you guys kind of like tanked down a little bit?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because you expect that though. With any big league season, you can't have a season like that where you just dominate the whole entire season with no types of obstacles. You're gonna have slumps, you're gonna face adversity, and the Yankees faced some of that for a whole month. I mean, it was rough. It was really
It,
difficult.
I
It just
know, I
happens,
know.
you know.
Yeah,
But
like I talked to Hayden a lot about the like Yankee slumps, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, if they, I don't even know if they can even just get past like the ALDS. We were actually talking about it one night, and I was like, I don't know either, man. Like the Yankees, they got to claw their way back at least to their division and playoff contention,
And
yeah, I
they
mean it's
did come.
part of the game. Yeah, for
and they did
sure.
come back, and y'all play against the Astros, and I don't know what it is with the Astros. It's like the curse of the Cubs again, that y'all just cannot beat them.
They're good. They're just flat
Yeah,
out good. I mean, they have every piece of the puzzle
look what they
consecutively.
did. They won the World Series.
Yeah, for the second time in the last 6 years, and they've been to the World Series 4 times in that span.
Mm,
I would
yeah,
love to see. I would love to see the Yankees go to the World Series again. Honestly.
they need to. They need to. It's well overdue. They'll make a couple more moves probably before spring training. Bring a left fielder. We'll see about a pitcher, a reliever maybe, but
I think like the outfield, you might need one more. I don't know about like the relieving so much. Like you guys got a couple good. Like you got King, Clay Holmes. He's really good. Your
yeah, they
honestly, your
signed Kaneman,
bullpen,
which is cool. Him coming
your
back is
bullpen
nice.
is just good. I mean, the bullpen for New York. I remember I think they were like all under at least like maybe two or one at that point in some month.
Yeah, what was unfortunate was a few guys going down with injuries in the pen. That was tough during that
Yeah,
stretch, that
yeah,
that slump back in the summer. And Efros with the Cubs, who we traded for, we traded some guys to the A's and the Cubs who were really solid arms, who could have definitely have helped us. But then what we got in return just didn't work out right so far. We'll see if it changes, but I don't know.
yeah. Do you think that your team will have a dominant season this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, we all say the same thing every year. Everybody love it. You love spring training time because everybody thinks they're going to be World Series champions. So it's a fun time, but I think they definitely have the potential again. I mean, they definitely have to rely on their own abilities, and obviously analytics are so prominent, but you have to really sometimes separate that a little bit and understand how you're going to make decisions, what kind of decisions are going to be analytically based, and what kind you're going to have more of a old school approach to and have feel and understand the situation. And the Mets have done a really nice job with that. I know their hitting coach. He was actually the hitting coach for the Jackals way back during my first year. So we had a conversation about how they have an old school, new school approach. But the
Yeah,
Yankees seem like they're kind of stuck in this new school approach, and it obviously hasn't worked out for the past few seasons. And but they did add quite a few members of onto the staff up in the front office. We see the former Giants GM joining the Yankees advisory committee for the GM, and Omar Minaya from the Mets, two old school guys. So it's interesting to see what's happening up at that level.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Um.
really think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did want to cover a topic that's gonna be kind of sad to cover, but as fans of the game, we have to talk about it. Um, how are you guys feeling for Liam Hendricks right now after what we heard
Oh,
the other night with
yeah.
him getting diagnosed with cancer?
Yeah,
Hodgkin's lymphoma, apparently.
Yeah,
That's okay. So I just know that that's a serious thing, and hopefully his stream will be okay. He's such a good player, dude, and I, I don't know. I'm gonna bring this up. I know this isn't baseball, but like I don't know. Like this year's already been so bad. Like look what happened to getting off topic. Like look what happened to Damar Hamlin. Now look at to Liam Hendricks. Sorry, I had to bring it up. It's just reminding me. Both very good players, and they're just in their leagues. Damar good in the NFL, Liam good as a reliever. You just really hate to hear that news, honestly.
yeah.
I
It's
hope I
difficult.
hope he's gonna be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. It's tough to hear. He seems like a great guy too, a family man, and somebody who's been in the game for a long time, been a positive person throughout the game. So, hopefully he'll be able to, fight through it, get things going, and hopefully we'll see him healthy and back out on the field again soon, and just be happy and seeing him compete. So, wishing him the best. So, we'll see what happens
Yeah,
here. He'll get through it.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like look at Trey Mancini. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna give him example. Like look at him. He had
yes.
cancer. I don't know. I forgot. Was it 2020 he had cancer? If I remember,
Yeah, 2020.
2020, and he played for the Orioles, and now he's actually a World Series champion.
there you go.
His story is immaculate. His story is worth telling. So, if Mancini can do it, then Hendricks can do it.
Yeah, I mean, you face adversity in life, in baseball, and you see Mancini do that, and it paid off. It was tough for him, obviously. Some people go through different things that are easier or harder, but Hendricks just has to battle right now, and hopefully he'll be one of those guys who then is able to make a comeback like Mancini and show what he was able to do.
Yeah.
I think we got time for two more. We'll just kind of see where the recording is because we got like 5 minutes and 55 left. But we're gonna go until the buzzer beater. So, um, anyways, though, Billy, bro, what player in all of Major League Baseball are you most excited to see watch in 2023?
Ooh,
It's
that's
a
a
great
really
question.
good one.
That's a really, really good question. Oh man. Going across the league, I'm trying to think of somebody who we haven't really seen much of. That's really tough. I might have to take the 5 minutes and 15 seconds of this call left to think about this answer, man. Oh my God.
Oh man,
This
should
is
ask
tough.
this in the beginning.
There's so many great players out there who are just going to dominate, and we're going to love to see. I mean, I think J-Rod is somebody who I'd like to see another season from and watch what he's able to do. I'm trying to think of somebody who had a down year who I think will come back and bounce back. I think Joey Votto too. He's been such a dominant player, but he's encountered some struggles lately at the plate. So I want to see him bounce back and become that all-star caliber player for the Reds again.
That we know.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Let me think.
Yeah. That's a good, honestly. Votto, the thing is, after he got injured, like, I don't know. I think it's just that age getting to him.
Yeah, he's getting older. We'll see how many years he's got left, but I want him to end strong.
Yeah, let me think of one more question really quick. Um, I I don't think anything has gone on around the game today that I know of, like signings or trades.
Well, there's one that there's one I can probably talk about real quick.
Yeah,
That's okay, Hayden, because you don't have anything. So obviously, the Rangers have been getting a lot of depth, a lot of rotation, a lot of bullpen. Evaldi to the Rangers. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it's nice he's out of the Yankees division here in the AL East because he's a solid pitcher. I mean he when it counts, he's the one who they give the ball to a lot of times, and he's able to shove. So it's going to be interesting because I think they're building a nice little team there in Texas, and with Bruce Bochy coming in there as well, I really like to see
Right.
how they're going to perform because he's an old school manager and it's exciting. I always love the old school guys, and I think Evaldi's going to fit in there really nicely with what they're building. And
Yeah,
nice ballpark too,
because
new ballpark. So
that you mentioned him, the manager. I mean, he won a couple rings with San Francisco.
yeah, oh
So
yeah,
I think personally, if what he did in San Francisco, he could probably do for Texas in many years to come. Honestly, I could honestly, and this is a hot take, I could see the Mariners, the Rangers, the bunch of other teams could win a championship in the next 5 to 10 years.
it's possible. You never know. There's some teams that are able to build that big time team and just and have a dominant roster and just fall short, like the Tigers back 10 years ago. That was an amazing
Yeah.
team, never won it. They were
Look at the
AL champs,
Phillies.
but couldn't win it.
Yeah, like look at the Phillies this year.
Yeah,
Seventh seed, made the World Series, fall short. So anything can happen.
And all
right.
I'm gonna say is the Phillies this year, before we wrap this up, I mean, the Phillies are a very exciting team to watch. For this year again, I mean, I don't know if they'll go as far, but I could definitely see the Phillies being a playoff team for
Yeah.
sure.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean,
Again,
Dave Dombrowski's a terrific GM, and see how he put this team together last year was awesome to see. And I think he'll continue to, you see the extension on him. They obviously have trust in him to do it again and continue to add to that team and make the proper moves. But it's only the beginning for them. Rob Thompson is the manager, former Yankees bench coach, so it's really exciting.
It's gonna be great for those Phillies fans, and hopefully for you guys. I wish good luck on a championship in the next 5-10 years, per se.
Yes, sir. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you one more little short question before we get
Yeah.
off because we have a minute 9 left. So I'm gonna ask this very quickly. Who is one person? It could be a creator, it could be someone you know, but who is one person you challenge to come on the podcast?
Oh, man, that's a good one. Perry come on before?
Perry has came on
he
twice,
Yeah,
came
actually.
sure.
on. He
Of
came on. I
course he
think
has.
almost a month ago.
Oh man, creator. This is tough. I gotta think of somebody who could come on the show. Oh, come on, brain work. Um,
Hey Nation, peace out if we don't get this through.
we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I'm gonna get it to you. I'm gonna say, oh man, who's in the tournament?
Meeting has him. I'm just kidding.
I think I think of one.
Oof. How many
Oh
seconds
my
left?
God.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say Lambo Media. He's a Rockies fan, so you got to get him on here.
Ah,
There we
Lambo
go.
Media. All right.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
the
go.
buzzer. Oof.
Well, Hayden Nation on